You know what? This will do. Bam! Okay, go!
Um, have you heard about when I found Jagger's SIM card?
No.
No.
Okay, there's a lot of stuff Rita didn't say.
All
She
right.
said that she stopped
So
writing down about stuff after the knife.
right. I I had my sniper and I didn't want to have it in the house anymore because I was getting raided and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna put it in one of the clown beds and just leave it in there. And if they ever get a chase, it'll just be in there. And I get in there, I go in the glove box. I was gonna put it in the trunk, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna put it in the glove box or something like that. So when I open the glove box, I see like two SIM cards in there. And I grab them. I start going through them because, duh, I wonder whose SIM cards these are. And I see texts between, Emmy and Hazel and Tessa or Miss Lamb, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is Jagger. And I'm like, wait, this is Chinese man. This is perfect. So I put the sniper in the glove box and I was like, you know what would be funny? If I called someone from his SIM card.
No.
Now, if you want to get the best response out of this,
Yeah.
who would you call?
Uh, Good question. There's so many people. Okay,
If
best
you wanted to make sure this got back to Chatterbox, who on his contacts would you call?
for it to get back to Chatty out of those people you
Yes,
mentioned.
if you wanted him to take it serious, that someone actually called from his SIM card, who would you call?
Tessa.
That's what I did. I called and then I hung up.
Wait. Did she
I
say a
let it
word
ring
at
like
all or
once.
no?
No, she didn't get to answer. I hung up before like anything happened. I just called, let it ring like one
Yeah.
time, and I hung up. And then I put it back in the SIM card. And I put it back in the glove box, and I left.
Wait. Did anybody ever find out?
Yes, they did. Like I let it. I laid low for like a day. I didn't say anything, obviously, but um, let me see exactly what happened. Because Chatterbox ended up messaging me. Let me see. Let me see. Where did I last speak to him?
You know what you should have done when she did
What?
answer. You should have said something that he would say.
Miss Lamb.
Yeah.
Miss Lamb.
Something.
I can't talk. I can't sound like a wannabe Chad, man. Hold on, let me see. So he says, "Hey, old friend, what you doing? Want to hang out?"
That's how you
And
know
I
something.
type, and then he sent me a Family Guy gif of Peter Griffin putting a sniper out the window. And I said, ha, ha, ha. And he said, did you put that sniper in my van? And I said, hell no. And he typed 4800. That your state ID? I said, hell yeah. And he said, Sneaky, did you call Tessa on my other SIM card? I said, hell yeah. I said, hell no. And, and then I was at the court date when that happened. That was the Emperor's Court thing. And he shows up and he just starts staring at me. And then I do the handshake. I give him a handshake. And I'm like, yo, what's good? And then he's like, that's like he starts laughing, he like brings up, he's like, that's so like messed up or whatever, and that's so funny at the same time. And
It is messed up and funny at the
yeah,
same time.
it is. But that being said, it was pretty bad for Tessa, I guess. She apparently spiraled because I did that and thought the Jagger was getting back to the way he used to be.
Oh
So
no.
Tessa didn't like me for a while after that
Uh,
happened. I did talk with her about it, and all she really asks is why I did it, and then to not do it again. And then she drove off. Um, and then I kind of made it worse. We did have a talk. The thing
Oh,
that makes it a little bad is her and I finally spoke for the first time in a long time about everything that I was involved in, and then I went and did something like that. Now, obviously, my intention wasn't I'm gonna traumatize Tessa. I'm like, no, I'm gonna pull a prank on Chatty and have Tessa be like, "Did you call me?" You know, and all that stuff, and it worked, right? But I was hoping that it wouldn't hit her as hard as it did, and it did. And um, I've also been on the reason I mainly didn't care about like even thinking like how it would really affect her was because of the whole Kirk thing. You were there with that.
yeah.
I don't know if it's still happening or not, but
Don't know either.
I'm like, all right, well, if people are gonna do things, I mean, you heard about Wendy stabbing him, I assume,
Yeah. Took his head.
and you heard about Joanna
Yeah, with her
getting
leg.
like
He ate
all
it.
that stuff.
Yup.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
cage.
So, so I'm under the impression like, all right, if this is just clown stuff, then it's just clown stuff. It's that simple if that's the case. And I get the precedent that Joanna's not a member of the Funhouse Clowns, not stuff. Big talk with Chatty about it, and like where like what this means and what that means, and how I agree with how people are taking things too serious versus you know some people that actually shouldn't be getting hurt in ways that they do happen. I don't know. It's just a lot of bias is what I was pointing out. Um, so with that being said, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do clown stuff, and people are gonna get mad, but I'm not gonna care because if it was another clown that did it instead, people wouldn't have cared. So that's part of the reason I did that. Um, I also brought Wendy back into the room with Joanna when she was being tortured because Wendy, she excused herself. She didn't want to be there for it. She didn't want to play into to Kirk's games and stuff. And the thing is, JoJo called Wendy for help, and we went to go try to help her. Was what I was under the impression of. And when she got there, she left, and I was like, "Dang, I know. If I was in Joanna's position and I called for someone like you to come help, and I'm getting tortured, and you leave, I'd be like, dang,
They don't care.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like Wendy, I made the excuse of they're gonna be. Oh, by the way, I called the marshals and I took pictures of him doing it.
Yeah, Twinkles was told that he called the
Yeah.
cops.
So I did do that. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh, I don't got
but
food.
I was like Wendy, I think we should be in there. And I also think that you being there would go against what Kirk is trying to do, where everyone takes things a little too serious or people react irrationally to clown activity. Although Kirk didn't say it was clown activity, this time it was just straight revenge. But I was like, nah, I'm just gonna play along. And he put a gun on a pressure plate to where if you pick it up, it would unlock the door so you can go in there and stop him if you wanted to, right? Obvious play towards Wendy because she stabbed him recently. So I'm like, Wendy, I think it'd be best if you go in there and let him do whatever he does and not give him the reaction he wants, and also be there for Joanna. Um, I shouldn't. I guess I mean, yeah, I shouldn't have made her do something she didn't want to do. But she, I apologize to her for doing that. But my intention, my reasoning and thought process behind why I did it was right, but but still wrong. Like Joanna, I did ask Joanna, like, how did you feel about what happened?
Oh
And
shit! I
she
almost.
said
Oh
she
my
was
gosh.
a bit sad that Wendy walked out of that situation. And the thing is, when I did bring her back, she wanted to stay as well. So it was a bit confusing. But I mean, at the same time, I kind of brought her in there to stay. If I convinced her to stay, then that makes sense. I don't know, but I pretty much I was on one, I guess. I was like, stirring as much as I could and testing as many people and all that stuff. So all in all, I was like, I didn't care about anything else but what I was trying to do. And I sacrificed other people for that while trying to make sure people didn't feel like they were being sacrificed for things as well. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite there, but I knew I was being one. It's so hard to explain, but that's how it went.
It's okay.
Um, all in all, though, my point with that situation, I went. I saw Tessa was outside across the street, and I sat in the car, and she said, "Can I help you?" And I said no. And so she got out and walked away. Yep. And I was like, all right. I told her when she was walking away, I was like, if there's something you ever want to talk about, you want to talk about it later, anything, just let me know. And I left. And she hasn't contacted me about any of that stuff. Um, however, a couple of days ago, I don't know. So I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to say it's weird, but it's like I'm a bit confused because now it seems like she's all good, but it could just be because of why, and it was Helen being disguised as Tweety, but they didn't tell me. But she was disguised as Tweety, and she got arrested. We all got arrested because we attacked New Babylon, and she was asking me if I would be able to like if I. She texted me saying
Also, means talking. Tessa texted him, right?
down to help rescue Helen.
Yes,
That's
he
with the
did.
gift of like some guy prepared for war, you know. So I was like, yeah, basically me saying, yeah, of course, I'm always down to help the clowns, no matter if they're upset with me or not. Um, and then I guess Helen wanted to dress as Wendy after that disguise got blown, and then I'm chilling in the car. She gets in the front of the car. She has like piano fingers, and she's like, "I'm you," and I laugh, and then she goes, into the barbershop. I don't know if it. I don't know if it's because she wanted help with Helen and was trying to like. I don't know. I might be overthinking it, but from no contact until Helen is needed for help, Helen is
Yeah.
in danger or at risk of, getting a charge because I know she's contemplating becoming a cop again, right?
Helen
So
is?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what someone
Oh,
told me.
she
I
has a
don't know
warrant
what's
right
going on
now.
because apparently they does she.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Regardless, I know they were trying to keep her cover low because or keep her cover low because that stuff. Go ahead. That's your phone, Twinkles.
Sorry, couldn't talk for a second. Hi, Bozo.
Yeah, how long till your car's all done up?
Oh no, Twinkle's catching up with Sneaky.
Oh, you guys want to go to the race? I thought you didn't tell you.
He did
Don't tell
mention the
me.
race, but we kind of just forgot
Oh,
about
well, you
it.
guys have 20 minutes.
Nah, we're fine. We're doing the catch up.
All right,
Yeah.
you fucking grinders.
There's
All
no
right,
way
you
you're saying
fucking-
grinder when
you
you're over
guys-
here
you-
talking about racing when Twinkles is catching up with him. You know who's a grinder?
I'm not a
You
grinder.
know
I'm
who's a
not a grinder.
grinder?
I get my pensions for free.
You're a grinder for Lolly's love. That's what you are, Bozo.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
you, Twinkles. You tea sipping fucking goblin.
Yep. He's still in love with Lolly. He was crying yesterday about it at the banquet.
But yeah, that's all. Like I'm not sure if she's still upset with me or not, or if that's just a situation where she was being kind of nice and friendly and
I
goofy
do
around
wonder
me
though.
just because it had to do with, making sure Helen is all good. So I don't know. I didn't really know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I
What
don't know
else has
either.
happened? Um. Yeah. I mean, like the observatory thing happened, and I got fined 2.1 mil, went to jail for 3 years, had probation for 4 years.
Oh, that's
My
not
lawyer
bad.
locked it into
Better
it
than
was
that,
gonna be
Bert.
10. The base state, like the base charges were
Yeah.
10 years and $5 million fine.
Wait, then what
So
happened?
I called a lawyer,
Oh yeah, Angela.
and then she negotiated, and she was actually she was the little sister. I don't know, little maybe older sister. I don't know. Regardless, she was a sister of the marshal, and they were like, "Are you serious? Like this could be a conflict of interest?" I'm like, "No, that's good. I want I
One
want
second,
you and your
Sneaky.
sister to go against each other."
I'm gonna get
Go
a phone
ahead.
call.
Something about the lawyer
Oh
and
yeah, the
how
lawyer was a
yeah,
sister
I
in a
called
conflict of
her.
interest.
Yeah. So I wanted them to be competitive, but also, if you think about it, she was my negotiator, and the main reason why I'm like, I want this conflict of interest so they can try to prove that it's not a conflict of interest. Meaning, he would be more willing to allow her to get me less charges, so it doesn't seem like they're working together, which would be a conflict of interest. So he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but like, I bet if they work, if it's siblings, they want to go against that narrative, and he may be a little more lenient to letting me get more time off because that is her sister. Whereas stereotypically, they'd be like, "Oh, you're my sister. I'm gonna, my sister's gonna help me get this guy more charges and more fine." I don't know, whatever, but nonetheless, she locked in, only got me 3 years, and then for probation, I was just chilling.
That makes sense.
What else?
Heard you and Wendy were fighting for a little bit at one point. Cause she was like flirting with this guy named
We
Sean.
Well, yeah. Wait, what did Rita tell you about that?
That the guy was like, if your boyfriend wasn't here, that he would take off his shirt and show her the new tattoos. And she flirted somehow in return, but she didn't realize she was. But then you were like saying that with the stuff she normally says that she should have known what she was saying would be flirty. Something like that.
Yeah, so we what the heck happened? I think she needed to sell something. She was selling something. Hold on a second. Hey, all I remember is we.
What just happened? Oh, I thought it was me. I'm like, what did I do?
Last thing I was saying was about. Oh yeah, Wendy.
Yeah.
So we went to the bank. She was selling something to someone. Yeah, with the Sean guy. Yeah, selling the engine. She got a yacht engine, I think. Sold it to him, and I ran across the street to like mess with cops or something, I think. And then I got in the car because they drove off. I was like, okay, her deal's done. She's told the engine. I was like, all right, come on, Winnie, let's go. We gotta go boost because we were with Goopert and Bones. And she's like, oh, we're wait, this way right here. I'm gonna wait here because Sean wants to show me his new outfit. And I'm like, what? And I get out. I'm like, what do you mean show you the new outfit? It's like, yeah, he's going to the clothing store to show me his new outfit. And I'm like, that better be the ugliest outfit I've ever seen. Like, what do you mean show you the outfit? He's like, no, he's just showing me his tattoos. I'm like, what? And then he pulls up and she's like, and out loud, she's like, I'm not. It's not like he's taking his pants off. Sneaky, don't be weird, or something like that. So I'm like, what?
Oh
And then and
god.
then and then he's standing there. He's like, yeah, I just got these tattoos, and she's like looking through her eyes, like circling around him, right? It's like, oh, I like the illustration on this one, and oh, I can see this one still needs to heal a little bit and all that, and I'm just looking at her. I'm like, how far is she gonna go with it? Because if I did this,
Oh, she'd be
she would be
mad.
infuriated, right? But
Yeah,
she was
enraged.
when I asked her that, she said she wouldn't have. Obviously, though, that's the response for anyone
Yeah.
that's on the other end. But he's like, yeah. I mean, I would show you the tattoos on like my back and stuff, but I want taking my shirt off because you're man's here. And she didn't flip back or anything. She probably laughed or something. I don't remember, but she didn't even respond to him saying that. And she wasn't like, "What? I wouldn't want to see you with your shirt off anyway. I didn't want to see, any of that." She didn't say any of that. She just kept looking, and she's like, "Yeah, these are cool. These are cool tattoos." And then they left. And when he tried to get in the passenger, I'm like, "Nah, Gooper's getting up here." Gooper texted me too. He's like, "Let's kill him." He's like, "We gotta kill him." And I'm like, "Not," because I wanted to see if she would actually let that play out the way that it did, and she did. So, um, she pulled the "I don't know what flirting is" card. Like I didn't know that was flirting, and I didn't know this that he didn't throw any rocks. That stuff. Now Wendy has changed a lot since where that used to fly, right? But for the longest, she has been flirting, and she knows when things are innuendos, and she knows when things are certain things. She
Don't you mean
knows.
Nintendo?
She knows. Yes, all those things. So I didn't fold. I didn't let that slide, and she got mad that I didn't let that slide, and I wouldn't accept it. And she took it as me calling her a liar or or something like that. But before that, um, I was just talking to her in the car. I was like, guys, I'm not like tripping, right? Like Gooper Bones, I'm not like freaking out. I'm not overreacting, and they're all like, no, you're not. No, that's not at all. And she's like, you're such a jelly skeleton, and I'm like, stop being condescending. And she's like, I'm not being condescending. I'm not trying to be condescending. I was like, well, you are. And like I was at that point, I'm like, it's a problem, and she's not understanding that that's a problem. And um, I can't remember right now where it got to that point, but I remember wanted to talk with her, and we went to the house, Wendy and I's house,
I love
and
whenever
I
there's
told
drama
her like,
between
yeah,
Wendy and Nate. Why?
you know that that's flirting. You know that this is that. I can't let that go. And she's like, also, I'm just doing everything wrong, like because she was being heavily criticized by a lot of people at the time too, so she might have thought that I was doing the same thing when I wasn't. Um, but yeah, I wasn't. Long story short, I wasn't going for it, and she got upset, and that made me even more upset that she got upset. So she says she's gonna go off into the mountains for a few days or something like that. Before that, she went to talk with Bones because I think I went and did a boost with someone. Actually, yeah, that's what happened. I went to, and like I think I went and did the boost with Cooper, and then it's so hard. That was like 3 weeks ago, but all I know is there was a point where Bones and Wendy were talking, and then when I finally met up with her again, she's like, "Yeah, so I talked with Bones, and now I kind of know what flirt. Now I know that I was being flirted with. Like I gotta learn what flirt." I was like, "Wendy, you already know what that. That doesn't matter. I don't know. It goes back into that circle, and then I guess she went off on her own and was talking about how she's always messing up and and she's gonna go up into the mountains for a little bit. And they were asking me if I was gonna go look for her. I was like, no, no, no. Why would I go look for her? And I don't know. She went and talked with Bones, like to have Bones take her to get her car to leave or something. And I was like, why call Bones? And so I called Bones. I was like, yo, whatever she says, do not feel like you need to choose a side. Don't feel like you need to solve anything. Don't feel like you need to comfort her because she's crying right now, all right? And he's like, yeah, don't worry, I already know. You know how Buns is. So I was like, all right, cool. Just let you know. Hung up, and then she was gone for a little bit, and then it gets a little confusing. But long story short, we resolved it. But I told her like I was starting to check out of the relationship. I was like, I'm getting to the point
Wait,
where I was like,
what?
what?
You You
I didn't
almost
say I
broke
was
up?
checking out. I was starting. Well, no.
Well, you thought about
I
it.
said I was starting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
starting to check out, not starting to like want
Yeah, usually
want
when
to leave.
someone says they were trying to, when they say they're checking out, that means they wanted to be done with. Is that
No,
how you
it
meant?
was more. Not really. I wasn't.
No.
It would have been more like if I was checked out, things would happen. I wouldn't really care. Like if she got hurt or something, or if I did something and it hurt her feelings, I would have been like, it is what it is at this
No.
point, anyways.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that. Is that what check out would mean there? I guess I have a different
But yeah,
meaning for it
I
in
told
my
her I
head.
was starting to check out, and obviously she didn't want that to be a thing. Obviously, I didn't want that to be a thing, but I was just keeping it real because
Yeah.
something else happened.
Wait, because something else
Um,
happened?
yeah, something else
There's
happened.
there was another guy or another girl involved.
No,
Oh.
not necessarily.
Wait, but there was technically
Besties,
kinda. Ooh,
not
okay.
necessarily. So I got kidnapped by the besties.
Oh, okay.
And they
Like
took my
emotionally taken
phone
out.
and they texted
Oh, okay.
Wendy saying something like lose my number. I'm with my new girl. Your breath stink. Stuff like that. Now, would you believe that? Would you believe that that's me? If Raina texted you something like that, would you believe that's Raina?
No.
Well, Wendy kind of fell for it, and
Hi, sweet.
obviously after they almost killed me, and I managed to talk myself out of not getting killed, I called them for a pickup. So I called Wendy, obviously to be like, "Yo, by the way, that wasn't me. They took my phone." She immediately answers and goes, "If you don't be a coward and try to call me, if wait, find me in person, like meet up with me in person to talk about it instead of being a coward on the phone." And then hung up before I could say anything. So I'm like, all right, great. What if it was actually like a legit thing and I needed help and like I was gonna die if she didn't call her, like let me speak even like a little bit. So I was like, okay, all right, cool. Um, I go to the house and she was gonna take her bike, so I pull her bike out and I park it in the back. The back tire is showing a little bit, so she knows that the bike is there. And I'm just leaning up against the bike, waiting for her to show up. She walks up to the bike, and then she just turns around and starts walking away. So I'm like, I thought you said to not be a coward and speak to you in person. Now
Yeah.
you're walking away. So then she comes back and she's like, "What do you want to talk about?" I was like, "Well," she's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, you wanted to, what happened?" Long story short, I ended up telling her, "Hey, I got kidnapped, and I was gonna talk to you. I was gonna call you for a pickup, and that happened. Obviously, that wasn't me. Why would I send that text after everything like we've gone through? Like that doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
And 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 she's like, "Wait a minute, are you mad at me?"
Wait.
And I'm
Question.
like,
Hold on.
"Yeah."
What was it exactly
What's
that you
up?
texted her? So that way Tungus can text it to Reina and see her reaction.
Okay. I have to scroll up a lot.
Okay.
Actually, maybe not. Let me keep scrolling. I'll tell you when I
Can't you
find
search
it.
up certain like words? Oh no, you can't anymore.
Nah,
Never mind.
phones are different now.
I'm gonna make her panic.
Okay. It says, first thing he says, "I hate you. Moved on to better things." By the way, his grammar was terrible.
Really?
But he said, "I hate you. I moved on to better things. Your breath stinks. Can't stand it no more." And then she says, "WTF? Who are you?" And he says, "With my new girl, lose my number, stink breath." And she says, "Coward, talk to me in person or not at all."
Okay, Tungus texted Reina, hate you, moved on to better things, your breath stinks, can't stand you anymore. Ah, Tungus should have used the wrong your. Tungus should have used the wrong your and see if she would have caught on. Okay, let's
Nah,
see how
it's
she
better.
reacts.
You don't want her to catch on. But yeah, I told her that I was mad at her for that. And then she got mad again that I was mad at her for something. And then we were talking about it, and she tried to do this like
She
Uno
said
reverse
honestly
card.
same. What? Sorry, it's for interrupting. Go on, go on.
Okay. Um. So yeah, she tried to do this Uno reverse thing where she's like, "Well, duh, Sneaker, I knew that that wasn't you. I was playing into it so that they wouldn't know this is kind of like a setup or anything. Like, come on, my skeleton, you know this. Like, and I was like, so are you actually upset or not? Like,
Oh
what?
my
I don't
gosh.
understand. And she's like,
What am I snacking on? Rice
yeah, I am.
Krispies.
I don't know. It got so confusing at that
It was my
part.
last
And
one.
then Marley called, and I answered it, and he's like, "Can you help me? Like, this is important. They got me. I'm kidnapped." I'm like, well, at first he didn't say he was kidnapped. He just was asking for help and to pick him up. I was like, Marley, I have an important conversation right now. If you're doing this thing again where you make something up where you seem like it's an emergency and it's not, I'm not talking to you for the next like week. And he's like, no, this is actually serious. I was like, all right, Marley. And then I'm at Rainbow Garage. So I'm with Wendy,
Excuse me.
and I'm going to Rainbow Garage, and I'm pulling up Bestie's ambush again. So I drive to the top of Rainbow Garage, tell Wendy to get out, because they threatened her as well to like if I don't do this, then they're gonna find Wendy and kidnap her and kill her. And I was like, okay. So obviously I'm not gonna have Wendy be there. So I told her to get in the truck and hide and a local truck up there, and I drove all the way back down, gave myself up, and I was able to talk myself out of that situation again. And I don't know, that was a long day, man. But um, I still haven't really told her my. I still haven't like told her
Bless you.
my my thought process, I guess, or whatever on that situation. How I felt about it. Because at the time I was still thinking about it, and I don't even know how to put it into words. But it's just like she tried to, and I told her like, isn't you saying that you were playing along, and then now you're saying that it actually did get you, and for some reason you like lapse of judgment
Bless you. Thank
and
you.
didn't realize
Vanessa,
that
real
that was
one. No,
obviously
she is.
fake
She's
and
funny for that.
sent you into a spiral because of how you were in the past and people not
What's up,
wanting
Doom?
you and stuff. And I'm
What's
like, so
up?
so were you lying or
Washa,
not?
washa.
Like, was that wasn't that technically a lie? Then you
How
tried to say
is
that
you?
you knew that it was fake, and then now you're saying that you shouldn't have fallen for it because of how much like and I'm like, that's a lie then, right? She's like, well, it's like a half lie. It's only like a half lie. I'm like, Wendy, what do you mean a half lie? It was a lie. She's like, no, it's only a half lie because of this. I don't remember how she tried to explain it, right? But I just too much was going on for me to like think about like how I wanted to play that. And I was like, all right, and that's part of why the whole checking out thing was something I was
Yeah.
talking about. Because like,
Yeah.
well, what's even going on? Too many things were happening. And I'm like, at this point,
He just didn't care.
yeah, like, it's just why even care right now? It doesn't make sense. And I was only starting to check out, right? I'm not out here saying I checked out. Like I don't care about anything, but I was like, I was questioning if things were worth it. Like, is it worth getting upset about this, or is it worth like even having this conversation? That's what I mean by I was starting to get checked out. But I I kind of left it at that. I told her I didn't really know how I wanted to talk about it yet, and that was pretty much it. Um, but yeah, I obviously finally spoke with her after that Sean thing, and she came to like this realization that not everyone is really out to get her, and her insecurities are the only ones that are really trying to do it. And she's been working on that, which is really good. Right? Like all in all, I want to make sure that all that bad news I just told you isn't the way that she is anymore. Right? She's been doing way better, way better. Um, and I'm glad. I think a lot of clowns aren't capable of doing that. Only clown I've seen do something like that before her was Chatty, and he was way worse than anyone. Um, but yeah, she has been doing better. But yeah, that did happen.
Sounds like that was intense.
Yeah, it was exhausting, man. It was mentally exhausted. I was just, like everything, and then Tessa was trying to tell me like the things I was doing was going to get back to the clowns, and it was going to be bad,
Like the
and
faceless stuff?
then that I'm yes, and then I just got two rocks in my brain, and I don't know what's gonna like they just spark together every once in a while, and I have a thought. I'm like, she doesn't understand my involvement, you know? She doesn't
Yeah.
know as much as I do, and I can't tell her as much as I know because the thing that she's afraid of happening would happen. If I gave this information to all the clowns and knowing that they're clowns and what they could possibly do, I mean, you got Mumbles over here saying, "Yeah, you're a faceless asset, right? Aren't you a faceless asset?" This, like, come on. Like, obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna speak like that. I'm not gonna speak like that.
Yeah, that kind
But
of.
point is, I don't say these things because I don't want them to be involved. Because if they do get hurt, that's gonna be on me. And even with with anything, I try not to get the clowns involved with it. Like even months ago, when I was doing certain things, I didn't want it to lead back to the clowns, and I've been holding that up ever since.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, to be fair,
So
like, you've been a part of it for so long. If it was gonna come back, it would have already.
yeah, it would have. So, but she was speaking from like a I know what's gonna happen, and when it does happen,
She's gonna say she
I'm
told you
not
so.
gonna. No, she said
Oh.
she's not going to. She said I'm not gonna say I told you so. But when it does happen and stuff, I'm not gonna sit there and let it happen to you, right? At the end of the day, she was saying she was gonna look out for me, and
Oh.
she's gonna try to. They're not just gonna let me get cooked, right? Which I gotta understand that. Like, duh, of course they're not gonna just let that happen. But my point to her was, it's not going to get to that point. Even her reasoning behind it, the knowledge that she did have, Marley got kidnapped. I got kidnapped. They're threatening Wendy, right? So it makes sense that she's like, this is gonna get bad for the clowns. But I was telling her, no, I'm not important enough in what's happening for that to be a thing. I played my pieces very well that day when the besties were looking for me and kidnapping clowns. It could have been way worse. I swear they probably wanted me to switch and be on their team at some point. I had them laughing and everything. It was probably the best outcome that could have come from that. And that was weeks ago. It's blown over. Their places got blown up and all that stuff. I'm sure you've seen the rubble around here, but like
Yeah, I took us all.
everything is done on that front. There's no reason for them to go after the clowns. They could probably still go after me. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I kept myself out of the loop because they threatened Wendy, and if they're like, "Yo,
When you
do
say
this," or
they,
"We're gonna
you mean
kill
the
Wendy," I'm
besties,
gonna do
right?
this. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not I don't know. I'm not gonna bring it up to her, but as much as she's right about a lot of things, sometimes she's not. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do know that things are gonna be okay, and I obviously am not always right either. But in that situation, I kind of was just like, all right,
It's boring being right.
Well, are you right all the time? You bored?
Is that it?
I said, are you right all the time, Twinkles?
Nope.
You
And
getting
that's
bored?
awesome. Because
Yeah.
think about it, if you're right all the time, then you already know what's going to happen, what to expect. But when you're wrong most of the time, it's madness.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Chatty about it too. I was like, "Yeah, I'm like, I'm
Tinkles
an
love
enemy of the
tinkles,
state."
love
He's like,
tinkles,
"So,
love.
like, what's, so what?" I'm like, "Well, like, if I do something, it's gonna be pretty bad. I just don't want like
BD is
the
taking for the
clowns
30
to get
streak.
involved." And Chatty was cool with it too. He's like, "Are you getting anything out of it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're not forced to do it." I'm like, "No, I'm doing it because I want to." Tessa also has something similar. Is that just a local helicopter? Oh,
Yeah, that's
never.
just, yeah, it is. That's the second time it's
Yeah, it
flown
just
by.
got really foggy, and I was like, "What can I see?" Um,
The time.
yeah, she asked me like, "Am I forced? Can I leave the thing I'm involved in?" And I said no, but I also told her I don't want to. Like like
Hmm.
I don't want to leave because of what I get out of it, and I don't know if she was more focused on the fact that I couldn't leave if I wanted to, and not the fact that I wanted to stay. That's my impression at least, because she didn't really say much on that. But I mean, I've been good. I've been, I mean, that whole stuff, everything on that front has kind of gone the way that I expected it to go, which was clowns were gonna get involved, and me personally, I wasn't gonna get involved. That was more of like a faces versus the gangs. Like, well, honestly, faces and the gangs versus the besties. There was like 5 different people at war with the besties.
Really?
Yes, and supplies were
Wait, how
low.
long ago
People
was
couldn't
it? Was
get
this like 10
guns
days
or
ago or
magazines.
like 15 days ago?
Nah, this is like 2 3 weeks ago,
Okay, never mind.
maybe even 4.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I had a long talk about that. So we went over like there's a bunch of stuff that's been happening. And I talked to her for a long time, and it ended on a good note. But then I ended up doing the call, which is like the main thing why I even brought that up. I we had that long conversation. It was a good one, and it ended well. And she was even talking about how like she wanted to hang out more often, and how I'm bad at making that effort, which I am. So yeah, I did make a bad play on not considering her. What could happen to her? Chad even asked me like, if you knew she would spiral like that, would you have done it anyways? And I said I don't know because I don't know. I know he probably wishes I would be like, no, of course not. I wouldn't want her to spiral, but at the same time, if certain clowns did it, whether she spiraled or not, who would have cared? I'm kind of over that proving that point right now because Chatty also kind of agreed with the bias and that some people obviously are more considered than others, and obviously I still have plans to like stir things and see how people react to certain things. It's more that I'm testing boundaries, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I found out Tessa's, and I guess it's Jagger.
Now it's
And
Helen.
now it's Helen, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough because Kirk was pretty upset about the fact that if he does something to me or he does something to Wendy, the other person is going to have an issue with it, right?
Yeah.
That's the impression. Now, personally, if something happens to Wendy and it's a clown thing, I don't care. And I told Wendy, if something happens to me, it's a clown thing. Please try not to care, right? It's hard with Wendy, right? She's a caring person. But I asked her if she could try her best to let whatever happen happen. Let me get my gift back. It's all good. Uh, so now I'm thinking, what if I do something to Helen? She's not a clown, right? She's not a funhouse clown. She's not a clown at all. So if I were to do something and Tessa gets mad at me, what's how is it different from when, something happened to someone else? And I don't know. But like I said, I'm kind of over the point proving
Hi,
on the
Leafy.
bias. I feel like it doesn't really
Hello.
matter
Welcome. How's it
anymore,
going? Is that because
and
of
it's at least
Pozzoli? Is it
acknowledged.
Pozzol or
But I
Pozzoli?
know
I'm ready for a nap. Ooh, you about to
that if
sleep
I
good.
did that, Chatty wouldn't care. But a lot of people would care, and it'd be a big thing. And I'm not trying to be
Having a
Tessa's
nap
enemy
after
as
you
well.
eat,
I don't want
you
to
just feel different.
I don't want to
Hi,
keep
Wolf.
using
How's it
her to
going?
make my points, and like, that's because that's messed up. Because like I like Tessa. I like Tessa a lot. She's
Hello.
a really good person to me. Like I don't want to just keep on doing things like that and ruining our bare barely holding on relationship, right? So, but if I did, is all I'm saying, there would be issues when coincidentally something similar has happened before, and people thought it wasn't that big of a deal that it happened to that person because they're not a clown. They're
Yeah.
not a funhouse clown. But that's all. That's all. But regardless, I don't plan to do anything to Helen because I'm not trying to mess with Tessa like that. I we're not in a good spot considering things I've already done. But
Oh my gosh. Whenever I like inhale like
I don't
that,
know.
my left nostril hurts. Ugh.
It's weird around here, Twinkles. It's been a little weird around here. Not like a I don't know. I love the clowns still, like I said before, but I'm noticing.
You're noticing issues.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue I have is it's the seriousness of things when they're not that serious. That's all.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things get taken very serious when they're not really that serious. And then things that are serious aren't taken serious.
That
But
is
that
true.
all depends on who it happens to. That's it.
Yeah. Because if it was one of us, then it would be serious, you know? But then if it
Yep.
was somebody like Marley, it wouldn't be serious.
But that's because he's not a fun. Is he a fun house
No,
clown
he is
now?
now, yeah. But he's
Yeah.
he's still on like on the newer end, so it's not like
Yeah.
they care that much about him and stuff. Well, they do, but it's not like to to like he's like level 1 right now. We're like level
Yeah, I
5.
get you. If I'm level 5, you're like level 20.
No, Turkle's not talking to like
We're
no,
not the
if
same level.
the cap
You
is
just
5, no. We're not
Oh,
talking
okay, I was gonna
about
say, what the what?
no. But
I get you though.
but
You're
yeah.
still entry level.
So from what Twinkles gathered is nobody's like hanging out with Joanna either. Everybody's kind of just like staying away from her.
Yeah, she said she started her own gang.
What is it called?
I don't think she ever told me, or I don't think I ever.
So that
I
just
don't
means she never
remember.
started it.
Let me see if she texted it to me.
What's up, Kill? Hope you're good too.
Last thing she said is things have gotten out of hand, and now I'm the leader of a gang. That's it.
Well, that gang is doomed to fail.
I don't know. I assume it's not a gang. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. But anyways, was it saying something about chatty? Yeah, and then whether I would have done it or not, and I couldn't answer. But I got this. The thing is, he and I got the same a lot. It's the same a lot. I guess that's how I say it. Like a lot of things we think the same on, and I was trying to be devil's advocate with a lot of things I was asking him, and it was hard to have that conversation because everything he said is exactly what I would have said. And I was still trying to be like, but what about this? But what about that? You know? And he's like, well, so what? And I'm like, yeah, he's right. But like, but no, you know? So,
Yeah.
um, if he's, if whatever I do, if he's cool with it, I don't care because you know,
He's the
he's
leader.
the
Yeah.
clown leader. Yeah. So no matter what, no matter what I do, if it's along the lines of the way he does things, if someone gets mad about me doing it, I don't care. Because if he would have done it, it would have been all right. So therefore, if they go to him about it, he's gonna be like, "So what?"
Yeah.
like that's what happened when he told me when like Hazel went to Chatty about when I called Shane to Helen's house. Well, no, I called Kirk to Helen's house, forgetting that there was a big thing where Kirk stabbed Helen, and they haven't spoken really since that happened. And Shane was gonna be there because I was listening to a phone call, I think with Hazel, and Hazel's like, "Kirk's not there, is he?" She's like, "No." So I'm like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be funny. I'm gonna ping Kirk to come here because she just said that he wasn't here, so I'm just gonna ping him to come here." So I did, and he showed up. And then Hazel was like, "Why did you do that?" Like, I was like, "I'll be honest, I don't really care, Hazel." It, I forgot. I forgot that they were on those terms, but
Oh.
I still would have, I
What's
still
up,
would have
Auntie?
been indifferent on how they reacted to it
Yeah.
because she's not a clown, and that's the precedent that's been set. If they're not a
Yeah, that is
clown,
true.
who cares what happens to them? So yeah, I was just yeah, she spoke with him about it, and he's like, "That's funny." Like, so what? So, no, all in all, as long as I'm doing things the clown way or whatever that cringe thing is, I hate when people say that
But the
nowadays.
clown way?
The clown way and how to be a clown and what is a clown and
What has it been said that
what do you
much?
think a clown is? This clown? I don't know if it's been said much, but the idea of it in general doesn't really make sense to me because everyone has their own answer to it,
Yeah.
and I don't think there's a real answer to that. So why even ask it? One person's answer might be wrong to someone, and then to someone else that'd be the perfect answer. So who cares?
That is true. We all got different views on things.
Anyways, how's Raina been with stabbing people recently? She's talked about that
Um
when you guys were speaking.
yeah. It seems like she doesn't what she says she doesn't want to talk about seeing Joanna get tortured. It seems like either it bothers her and or she's like pushing down her emotions about that and trying to forget about it, but it's not helping. Yesterday was it yesterday or 2 days ago? She stabbed someone a lot of times. Oh no, it was locals. She kept stabbing them for no reason. Um, she stabbed Yuri the other day, but that was because Yuri was flirting with Twinkles in front of her. So that kind of was, deserved. It had a reason. But when she was telling Twinkles everything about what Twinkles missed, she did mention her stabbing people, and in a day she stabbed like what was it, like 2 or 3 different people. And Twinkles, now you're mentioning that, did something happen?
Nah, not yet.
Okay, are you gonna like have her stab people?
Maybe.
Okay.
What if I did? You want me to do that or no?
Twinkles did tell her that Twinkles has her back with anything, but the only thing is, 1 second. Sorry. Twinkles did tell her that he is scared that right now she has like control of it, of when she has control of herself, like to stop himself from hurting others, and that Twinkles is just scared of her losing that control.
So you're scared, but is there anything you plan to like do from that fear?
Not really. Cause
Just letting her know.
yeah, you already know how. Sorry about that. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I said, bro.
How you were scared at how she
Oh
like
yeah, you already know how she is. That she likes to bottle things up and she doesn't talk about stuff. So it's like pulling teeth from someone to get things out of her. If it gets bad, yeah, Twinkles would try to do something about it. But right now, just kind of observing, keeping an eye on her.
I see. Okay, called the crackheads. I don't know if you know them, but it's like Margot and some guy named like
Yeah,
Sam or something, and all them.
and
But
then Theo.
they're supposed to take her up to a high place because when he's afraid of heights.
Wait, Wendy
And
is?
yeah,
But how does she go to the
so I
bridge
took her
to
on top
talk
of a
to you?
crane.
What?
I carry her. She doesn't go up unless I carry
okay.
her. Then they weren't supposed to drop her, but the guy dropped her anyways. So, because Marco was like, "That's not part of the plan," and he did it anyways. So, I'm probably gonna kidnap the guy, and I'm gonna have Raina stab him a bunch. That's just like a blueprint.
Huh. Yeah, go for it. If Raina's fine with it, then that's fine.
What else did Raina tell you?
You know, Twinkles didn't know if he should have spoke or just stay in silence. About like about the catching up part? Like what she caught up Twinkles with?
Yeah, just whatever. I'm trying to think of what else I should tell you because
She
that's
told
what we're
Twinkles
talking
about
about.
Lily.
Oh
Mentioned
yeah, get kicked from
that.
the club
Yeah.
or leaving the. I don't know.
She said she was gonna leave, and then Chatty, you know how someone says you're fired. She's like, you can't fire him because he quit. You know, it was kind of like that. But instead of her leaving, Chatty said, you can't leave. You're getting kicked. So yeah, she said that, but that she has to blood Lily out, but she's not gonna do it anymore. Because of some stuff that happened yesterday that Twinkles wants to tell you. What else? She mentioned Helen and Tess are dating.
Gabby part. You hear about
Yeah.
Osvaldo and you did hear about
Rissa,
Osvaldo.
yeah.
What do you mean potential?
Party and Gabby slept in our house. In Twinkles and Reina's. Yeah. Party brought her over. Osvaldo and
It's probably so
Rissa.
much. I keep
It's possible a
forgetting.
thing. Well, Osvaldo at least looks like he has a crush on her. He's going on a date with her tomorrow. That's why he texted you that.
Yeah.
About the auction. Oh yeah, yesterday. So, mimes might be a problem. Twinkle wants to say might, but Twinkles would say it's a lower than a 30% chance. Also, Twinkles has to daydream for like 5 minutes. 1 second. I'll be back, chat. I gotta do something.
Wait, hop in the car.
Okay.